football now. Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown decided it was a good idea to Facebook Live Mike Tomlin's postgame locker room speech after beating the Chiefs in the wild card game. The move, as you would imagine, widely criticized, and now Brown is owning it, telling Bleacher Report that he, quote, has some growing up to do, and I'm going to do it. Adam Kaplan, Lou Riddick here to break down some Steelers conversation. Let's start with that quote. When you hear this out of your superstar player, who was widely criticized as being selfish, the poster child of this generation of look at me on social media, has this moment, what do you think when you hear that?
Well, you know, it's great that he has some self-awareness and understands that it was really a bad look. The optics were not very good, although I will say this, Matt. Everybody in the Pittsburgh organization, as far as Antonio, how they look at him as a worker, they consider him one of the hardest workers on the team, if not the hardest. He's a self-made man without a doubt.
Yep.
But those kind of antics you see based on what Mike Tomlin's comments were, that they're starting to wear a little bit thin with him, although ownership has kind of said, look, they're just kind of minor occurrences, which is interesting to hear those two varying opinions of the top dogs in that organization, so to speak. The proof will be how they feel about him will be in the pudding as far as what the contract looks like here going forward and how willing they are to go ahead and commit to a guy who's 28 years old, although over the past 4 years he's had 4 straight 100 catch plus seasons. He's one of the most productive wide receivers in the league, although from an average per year basis he doesn't make half of what the top players make in the league. It'll be interesting to see how they wind up really expressing how they feel about him from a money perspective.
Cap, let's go contract standpoint. 1 year left on the deal. What are you hearing about the team of the organization working out an extension?
Matt, a couple things there. First of all, they pledged for over a year now that they were going to address this. Remember, the Steelers do not do deals almost always, save for Ben Roethlisberger, if a player has more than 1 year left. So they're going to wait till now and do it. The number that we're looking at is somewhere around $16 million. And I see that because A.J. Green is the highest paid on an average per year basis, $15,941,000. So you're going to want to get, if you're Antonio Brown, around that number, if not beat it. Now, what really would be the negative here? Lewis talked about the numbers are tremendous, and we would add he's incredibly durable. The only thing is age. He does turn 29. Big deal. I mean, the thing is, you don't worry about it when the guy hasn't missed time. If he had missed time previously, then you're concerned about it as you get older. Then it's how you structure the guaranteed money, Matt, as he gets into his 30s. The Steelers do contracts different than most teams. They're not big on giving large guaranteed money down the line. They're going to want to get it done in the first couple seasons. That's really the only challenge. But again, for Antonio Brown, you're going to want to beat that A.J. Green deal.
This is almost back pay for Brown with the number that he's going to get. Yeah. He's going to get paid for the services he did previously because he hasn't been commensurate with his ability and his numbers.
Yeah, that's it's one of the things you have to be careful with. And I understand what you're saying as far as getting back pay, but look, contracts are all about future performance, right?
Yep.
And we're looking at a guy who's going to start approaching 30 years old, although he's showing those signs of slowing down. You have to be careful. The good old pay-as-you-go methodology is one that will, I'm sure, be pushed by the team. Obviously, maximizing cash flow to himself is what he's going to want, and he's going to want some of that back pay that you're talking about. Average per year really isn't going to make all that much difference. It's going to be how much guaranteed money he's going to get. And it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure they will take care of it.
The guarantees will be somewhere in the $50 million range if he beats the A.J. Green deal. The deals that were done in recent years, Des Bryant, Demaryius Thomas, they're in the $45 to $48 million guarantee range. So if you're Antonio Brown, you want to beat it. The only thing is he is definitely older than them. But, Matt, you made a good point. He's been so productive, they never paid him for that productivity. They made him wait till the last year of his deal.